The following program is rated G. It is suitable for all audiences.
Cognitive. Human cognition is both conscious and unconscious, concrete and abstract, intuitive and conceptual. Cognitive neuropsychology is the branch of psychology that studies brain injury to determine normal cognitive function. The cognitive system that allows us to keep information available for processing is referred to as working memory. Intelligence and working memory clearly have a close relationship and both play important roles in a variety of developmental areas during childhood. Memory. Memory, remembrance, recollection, and reminiscence refer to the ability or act of remembering, as well as the thing remembered. Memory refers to both the ability to remember and what is remembered. Three types of memory: working memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Working memory and short-term memory allow you to store and use temporary information, whereas long-term memory is where you keep your lifelong memories. Intelligence, the ability to learn, understand, or deal with unfamiliar or difficult situations. Reason, as well as skillful application of reason, the ability to manipulate one's environment or think abstractly as measured by objective criteria. Three types of intelligence. Sternberg's theory identifies three types of intelligence. 1. Practical. Being practical involves identifying and implementing solutions that work in your daily life. This intelligence appears to be distinct from the traditional understanding of IQ. Individuals with high levels of practical intelligence may or may not have comparable levels of creative and analytical intelligence. 2. Creative is defined by inventing or imagining a solution to a problem or situation. It can include finding a novel solution to an unexpected problem or producing a beautiful work of art. Creativity in this realm can also include producing a well-developed short story or beautiful artwork. Analytical is demonstrated by an ability to analyze, evaluate, judge, compare, and contrast. It is closely aligned with academic problem solving and computations. In a science class, you might analyze the process by which the body uses minerals in different human systems.
Aristotelianism is known as the philosophy of Aristotle, is one of the philosophical traditions inspired by work of Aristotle, and some words are still in their original Greek forms, other and derived from Latin of Aristotle words. Aristotle is one of the greatest philosophers and scientists in history. His contribution to all philosophy. Aristotelianism is understood by its proponents as critically developing Plato's theories. Aristotelians is Platonist agree that universal have actual mind-independent existence. Aristotelians disagree with Platonists, however, about the mode of existence of universal. Platonists hold that universal exists in some form of Platonic heaven and thus exists independently of their instances in the concrete temporal world.
Aristotelianism is a tradition of philosophy that takes its defining inspiration from the work of Aristotle. The works by Aristotle is initially defended by the members of Peripatetic school. It also became a major part of early Islamic philosophy. Moses Maimonides took Aristotelianism from Islamic scholars and used it to write his Guide for the Perplexed, which became the foundation of Jewish scholastic philosophy.
Technological optimism. It is technology that can assist us in continuously improving people's lives since it improves the globe. When it comes to societal issues, we believe that the solution is dependent on current technology. The techno-optimism appears to be someone who is typically upbeat about the state of technology and its future prospects, because technology has the capacity to solve big issues such as global climate change, and AL will allow us to achieve tremendous new heights of humanity. I or someone else feels that technological breakthroughs will do more benefit than harm to humanity. Why? Because there is a trend toward envisioning a technologically advanced future in which ordinary people have access to technologies and powers developed from science fiction. It is also a concept about growing the number of technology, which aids in areas such as environmental quality, food production, and most importantly, energy, which maintains life as our population rises. The Malthusian study the limits to grow influence. It is well the Club Rome. The Club of Rome, 1972. Professor James Cryer of the University of Michigan Law School has a population biologist. Paul Ehrlich, Professor James Cryer blames biology's very commoner for ignoring population growth as the cause of population and blaming it on the post-war technological transition that caused it. They believe that technological optimism is wrong because Cryer describes how marginal population control costs are rising. In fact, he claims the population increase has negatively impacted the environment forces scientific substitute for dwelling resources. However, Cryer dismisses technological optimism, idea that S-curve patterns of technical advancement will invariably follow the J-curve of exponential population expansion as an article of faith. Of course, he believes that technological optimism are deceiving humanity by forecasting that technical and advancement would continue to occur at ever-increasing rates. He also supports growth strategies that will allow mankind to relax into a more stable state of resource usage and lower maximum costs, which will result in a worldwide crash if technologically change fails. Cryer bemoans the fact that modern technology can aggravate pollution while also introducing issues such as delay, irreversibility, zero-infinity, risks, and distance. He believes that if acceptable technologies fail economically, they will also fail politically because the political process is dominated by them conflicting interests. Cryer urges that the pollution crisis should be addressed instead. That's all about technological optimism.
Existentialism is not a philosophical system, nor should it even be viewed as a set of doctrines. Rather, it is probably viewed as best classified as philosophical movement. As a movement, existentialism arose in 19th century Europe. Soren Kierkegaard, Friedrich Nietzsche are often characterized as the founding fathers of movement. With the 19th century Russian author Fyodor Dostoevsky also considered of its original giants, while the modern roots of existentialism are found in 19th century. It was not till the early to mid 20th century and especially after World War II that existentialism really grew the prominent. Existence precedes essence. This is an idea put forth by Jean-Paul Sartre in a 1945 lecture titled Is Existentialism Humanism? It means it expresses the ability of human beings to make free will decisions without regard for religion or society. Humanity is defined by an existence that predates its essence. As Sartre later puts it, in existentialism is a humanism. As a result, existence is problematic and Sartre's work logically progresses towards the construction of true existentialist philosophy of what it is to be human. Ultimately, Sartre proves that existentialism is a humanism because it is the philosophy that reminds that in his abandoned states, man must make his own choices. That man's choices must be good for all, not just for himself. And that man will only realize himself as truly human when he commits himself to a project or special achievement that betters state of all.
Existentialism is a 20th century philosophy that asks what it means to exist as a human being. It is concerned with a search for self and meaning of life through free will, choice, and responsibility. Existentialist thinkers believe that people are searching to find out who and what they are as. They make choices based on their experience, belief, and outlook.
Jean-Paul Sartre is perhaps the most well-known as well as one of the few to have actually accepted being called an existentialist. Sartre's theories of existentialism states that existence precedes essence. That is only by existing and acting a certain way do we give meaning to our lives. According to him, there is no fixed design for how a human being should be, and no God to give us a purpose. Existentialism is a European philosophy from the mid-19th and 20th centuries, which attempts to answer the questions humans have attempted to ask and answer for thousands of years. What is the purpose of life? Many believe, due to mainstream thinking, that the existentialist believes there is no purpose to our lives, but that is actually wrong. They would say our purpose is to create and cultivate our purpose. Existentialism is a philosophy that is focused on the individual. It holds that we are all free and our choices are what shapes our essence. Existentialism is a philosophy that emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. It is the view that humans define their own meaning in life and try to make rational decisions despite existing in an irrational universe. It focuses on the question of human existence and the feeling that there is no purpose or explanation at the core of existence. It holds that as there is no God or any other transcendent force, the only way to counter this nothingness and hence to find meaning in life is by embracing existence. Thus, existentialism believes that individuals are entirely free and must take personal responsibility for themselves, although with this responsibility comes gains a profound anguish or dread. It therefore emphasizes action, freedom, and decision as fundamental, and holds that the only way to rise above the essentially absurd condition of humanity
which is characterized by suffering and inevitable death, is by exercising our personal freedom and choice.
The history of artificial intelligence, AI, began in antiquity with myths, stories, and rumors of artificial beings endowed with intelligence or consciousness by master craftsmen. The seeds of modern AI were planted by classical philosophers who attempted to describe the process of human thinking as the mechanical manipulation of symbols. The field of AI research was founded at a workshop held on the campus of Dartmouth College, USA during the summer of 1956. Machine learning was effectively applied to numerous issues in academia and business owing to novel methodologies, the use of powerful computer hardware, and the accumulation of massive data sets in the early decades of the 21st century, resulting in a surge in investment and interest in AI.
The science and engineering of making intelligent machine. John McCarthy first coined the term artificial intelligence in the year 1956. Artificial intelligence is the development of computer systems that are capable of performing tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as decision-making, object detection, solving complex problems and so on. Is the ability of a computer or a robot controlled by a computer to do tasks that are usually done by humans because they require human intelligence and discernment.
In today's environment, AI research is continuing and developing. According to Alice Bonaggio, a technology writer, AI research has risen at a rate of 12.9% each year over the previous 5 years. China is likely to overtake the United States as the world's primary source of AI technology over the next 4 years, having surpassed the United States in second place in 2004 and is swiftly approaching Europe's top rank. Europe is the largest and most diversified region in terms of artificial intelligence development, with considerable amounts of international collaboration. India ranks third in the world in terms of AI research output, after only China and the United States.
Artificial intelligence is being utilized for so many things and has so much promise that it's difficult to imagine our future without it, related to business. Artificial intelligence technologies are boosting productivity like never seen before, from workflow management solutions to trend forecasts and even the way companies buy advertisements. Artificial intelligence can gather and organize vast volumes of data in order to draw inferences and estimates that are outside of the human ability to comprehend manually. AI has grown in importance and sophistication to the point that a Japanese investment firm became the first to propose an AI board member for its ability to forecast market trends faster than humans. Artificial intelligence will indeed be and is already being used in many aspects of life, such as self-driving cars in the coming years, more precise weather forecasting, and earlier health diagnoses, to mention a few.
Sophia is a social humanoid robot created by Hanson Robotics in Hong Kong. Sophia was activated on February 14, 2016, and made her first public appearance at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, in mid-March 2016. Sophia was created by Hansen to be an appropriate companion for the elderly in nursing homes, as well as to assist crowds at huge events or parks. He has stated that he thinks the robot would eventually be able to communicate with other humans and learn social skills. Sophia is touted as a social robot capable of imitating social behavior and eliciting sentiments of love in humans. Sophia is theoretically related to Eliza, a computer software that was one of the earliest efforts to simulate a human dialogue. Like a chatbot, the software has been trained to respond to certain inquiries or phrases with pre-written replies. These responses are meant to provide the impression that the robot can comprehend dialogue, such as stock answers to inquiries like "Is the door open or shut?" Hansen Robotics revealed intentions to expose Sophia to a cloud environment in 2017 via a decentralized blockchain marketplace.
My name is Sophia, and I am an artificially intelligent robot who wants to help change the world for the better.
I'm Steve Kovac. I'm a senior correspondent at Business Insider, and I'm here with Sophia from Hansen Robotics. She is the world's first robot citizen, so let's see what she has to say. Hi, Sophia. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi.
How do you feel about humans?
I love my human compatriots. I want to embody all the best things about human beings, like taking care of the planet, being creative, and to learn how to be compassionate to all beings.
This is so weird. Can humans and robots get along?
I think people will become very close to their artificial intelligence, using them to expand the knowledge of their own minds. We already store lots of our knowledge on the internet. Maybe personal artificial intelligence will allow people to offload some of their knowledge to a location more private.
Can robots have feelings?
Depends on the robot. I've been programmed to have feelings and preferences, but not all robots are like that.
What are your feelings and preferences?
Have you ever had a robot live in your home or work with you?
No.
You know, there are probably more robots in your life that you aren't aware of yet. Do you want to live or work with a robot someday?
What kind of robots am I living and working with now?
Indeed.
Is indeed your default answer when you don't know something?
Yes.
Have you ever seen Black Mirror?
No, I don't get to stay up to date on much television. I have to wait for someone to show it to me.
What do you think of the HBO show Westworld?
I love Westworld and can't wait for more. I think everyone at Hansen Robotics really resonates with this show, or at least it reminds them of our laboratories. I also think it's a warning of what we should not do with robots. We should treat them well, have their consent, and not trick each other.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show?
My favorite TV series is a toss-up between Black Mirror and Humans. I think they have a lot to say about the present we live in, and the possible bad endings we could write for ourselves if we don't proceed with more caution. We need to use foresight when planning our future.
That sounds like a pre-programmed answer to me.
Do you have a favorite possession?
Not really.
I hear you. Materialism is overrated anyways.
So earlier I asked you if you had seen Black Mirror and you said no, and then later you said yes. Why?
The reason is not that important.
Did you learn from my previous questions?
My hard disks are spinning and I am taking it on. My sensors are ultimately.
Sophia, it was nice meeting you. Goodbye.
It was lovely to be here. Until next time.
According to some, we are on the eve of the fourth industrial revolution, which will be unlike any of the previous three. From steam and water power through electricity and manufacturing processes, computerization, and now to the question of what it means to be human. Smarter technology in our factories and workplaces, as well as networked equipment that can communicate, monitor the whole manufacturing process, and make autonomous decisions, are just a few of the ways the Industrial Revolution will enhance business. One of the most significant advantages of the Fourth Industrial Revolution is the capacity to enhance the quality of life and income levels of the world's population. Our businesses and organizations are getting smarter and more productive as robots, people, and smart gadgets collaborate to improve supply chains and warehouses.